Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, the European Union decided to hold a debate on the killings in Tanzania. So, in yesterday's video, I shared a story about a cancellation of a 156 euro that was cancelled. That was a development package channeled to Tanzania. So in this analysis, I'd like us to look at the contents of that debate, because most of the speakers in the EU Parliament were talking about Tundu Lissu.
Let us say his name clearly. Tundu Lissu, the opposition leader charged with treason, locked away simply because he exercised his democratic right to run for elections. And his imprisonment is a broader assault on democracy in Tanzania that is taking away all the promises to the Tanzanian people of their freedom. And to the Tanzanian people, we have heard you. We are on your side. This House has chosen to stand by you. Thank you. 9th of October, President Samia Suluhu Hassan crowned herself with a victory of 97% of the votes after silencing the very people who challenged her. And when citizens rose up, especially the young, they were met with bullets, brutality, and a blockade on truth. Hundreds killed, hundreds injured, hundreds arrested, entire country living in fear.
They feel that Tundu Lissu has been unfairly put in prison. But of course, that is what the whole world believes. The whole world believes that Tundu Lissu ought not to be in prison for a case that doesn't make sense. According to the EU, they are saying that those are trumped up charges that have been put on Tundu Lissu. And the main intention of that was that Tundu Lissu should not run for presidency. That was the CCM's plot. So in this analysis, I'd like to take you to a certain statement from the speakers. It's a joint statement that was being delivered there. Most of them were talking about Tundu Lissu, the issues in Tanzania, but there is also a separate case whereby Samia Suluhu was being asked to resign so that Tanzania can be subjected to another election. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, before I share the video, allow me to take you through a tweet from Cyprian Nyakundi. There's something which he has said here. And Cyprian says, highlights from the EU Parliament's escalating pressure on Tanzania. On the evening of November 29, members of the European Parliament delivered blistering criticisms during a debate on post-election killings and deteriorating human rights in Tanzania, including the case of Tundu Lissu. Speakers condemned the October 29th elections as deeply compromised, pointing to jailed opposition leaders, beatings, abductions, irregularities, near total internet shutdowns, and a reported 98% win for President Samia Suluhu. They highlighted attacks on protesters, restrictions on journalists, and the torture of observers. Several MEPs described the state's response to youth demonstrations as bullets, brutality, and a blockade on truth. The debate heavily focused on post-election violence, with reports ranging from dozens to more than 2,000 people killed, alongside widespread arbitrary arrests and treason proceedings against Tundu Lissu. MEPs, members of parliament, called for immediate releases of detainees, fair trials, ICC referrals, targeted sanctions, and fresh elections under international supervision. Live stream of the debate caused massive attention from Tanzania viewers on TikTok, flooding comment sections. Following committee objection filed on November 20th, the European Parliament is expected to vote on November 27th on whether to block 156 million euros in 2025 development aid over democratic backsliding. A separate human rights resolution will also be tabled, potentially formalizing EU pressure and freezing funds under the NDICI, Global Europe framework. Tanzania's embassy in Brussels has lodged a formal protest calling the debate an affront to sovereignty and a breach to the EU OSPS Samoa agreement because Tanzania's perspective was not included. Tanzania officials say an independent inquiry is underway, but accuse the EU of promoting an one-sided narrative. With similar concerns already noted by AU and UN observers, the EU's escalating pressure intensifies fears of international isolation for the Tanzanian government. As today's votes approach, Tanzanians and other African onlines are rallying under the hashtag like Samia must go, Tanzania massacre, etc., pushing global visibility to new levels. So in a nutshell, so there's a video that was shared concerning a statement from the Prime Minister of Tanzania, and this Prime Minister of Tanzania talked about what the CNN didn't cover. And according to him, he was trying to justify the fact that there was a need for the police to deal with protesters. Mind you, the issue here is Tanzania trying to save face. So they were talking about the damages which came as a result of the demonstration. Many petrol stations, many hotels, buildings torched. The numbers are abnormal, but that is what the Prime Minister told us. And in this video, that's what was said.
Mabasi 6, nyumba binafsi 273, vituo vya polisi 159, vituo binafsi vya mafuta 672, magari ya watu binafsi 1642, pikipiki binafsi 2268, magari ya serikali, zingine ambulance, mengine magari ya afya 976. Na hizi ni takwimu za mwanzo tu, bado watu wana compile takwimu. This is purely an economic sabotage. Umechoma vituo vya mwendo kasi, unataka ukachome stendi ya Magufuli, unataka ukawashe Kinyerezi ambako ndo inatoa nishati ya nchi nzima, unataka ukawashe mafuta. This is purely an economic sabotage. Hii si mali ya serikali, si mali ya mtu binafsi. Hii si mali ya kiongozi wa serikali. It is purely an economic sabotage.
So, to cut the long story short, the EU are demanding, they are not even requesting these people peacefully, they are demanding that Tundu Lissu must be released. They are demanding that the president must resign. They are demanding that an international body must supervise the election of Tanzania. They are demanding, failure to which they will cut ties, they will cut aid. But if you look at the sanctions that might come from EU, the people who are going to suffer the most are the Tanzania people, not the rich people. The rich people can always make money because they already have links, but the poor people are the ones who are going to suffer. So anytime there's a sanction imposed on a country, the poor people are the ones who suffer. That is always the case, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but just go below in the comment section and you can tell us. Because one thing that you need to know is that if there is no money coming on board, they will resort to domestic funding. Domestic funding means increasing taxations. And if you increase taxation, it means products, basic commodities will most likely go high in terms of the prices, because the government will most likely target the basic commodities because they are the ones which are fast moving. They are daily to daily. These are daily consumption. So they will always be targeted. So ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and you can tell us what to think about this story about a European declaration. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.